college football that you see them, pop up in, what was it, the Music City Bowl versus Tennessee a couple years ago, like go like 9-4. You're like, build the statue, like Indiana, like let's go, like. So I don't know. Like I said, like you can expect to go to a bowl game at Indiana, but it's hard to think, given these divisions, anything better than fifth or sixth.
3-6 in conference, 5-7 overall. The Spartans, Mel Tucker, highly paid, good staff, good recruiter. They've recruited well. And East Lansing hit the portal well, but goodness gracious, that I think is a disaster. But I also kind of wonder, where are they in the hierarchy in the Big Ten, and what actually is feasible year over year for Michigan State fans, and if you're a Michigan State fan, to stay sane about like what's realistic year over year for the Spartans. Do you think like just March like 6-6 should be accepted most years, with the blip years where you go 10-2 and really compete, and then back to kind of that middle ground? Or do you think that Mark D'Antonio got this program to a level that showed, because they did make a CFP with him, that no, you could be a 9-3, 10-2 team most years, like the Penn State spot, or can only one of those two be like the other big power next to Ohio State and Michigan at one time?
Well, they definitely can't coexist, right? Like all four of these teams can't be contenders at the same time. It's somebody's got to lose these games. Everyone can't win 10 and 11 games. So Michigan State, yeah, they're a low key like good football program, right? Like you might not think of them as a national powerhouse, but like they're always going to the Citrus Bowl or whatever, the Gator Bowl throughout the years, the Outback Bowl. Like they're a respectable program, and Mark D'Antonio got them to another level where they were actually a national contender. And maybe it was just a couple year period there, but it's hard to say, like, but they did win a Big Ten championship. So like your Michigan State is capable of doing that. Like you said, fifth in the conference in this division, like that's just unacceptable for Michigan State. So while I don't know if they should consistently expect to be better than Michigan, Ohio State, or Penn State, they definitely shouldn't be below anyone else in that division. So it's Michigan State, yeah, like you said, Mark D'Antonio proved like you can win there. Like before these last couple of years, like they were one of the two teams in the Big Ten that even made a college football playoff. So now with Michigan surpassing them, the landscape is much different. So that's probably an aspect that was, to Mark D'Antonio's advantage, was that he was able to build his program without Michigan being a powerhouse. And now if Michigan's back, like have we ever been in a world where Michigan and Michigan State are like both top programs at the same time? Like I can't really remember.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens here, but I wonder if he starts to get on the hot seat a little bit if you have another non-bowling year in East Lansing next year.
And it's crazy too, because like I think Mel Tucker is a good coach, but like how does anyone at all know how good of a coach he is? And to give him the money that they gave him, it's like now we all have this expectation of what he should be based on the amount of money he's making. Whether or not that was a good decision for them to give him that much money, who knows? But it's like it's not his fault if he's not $100 million coach. But it's like now that's the recalibration there. It's like, well, you're getting paid like this, you should be winning the Big Ten and going to the college football playoff.
That's fair.
I think programs like Michigan State, I think, are probably the biggest beneficiaries of the expanded playoff, because they have their years where they can be maybe the second or third best team in the Big Ten and actually make the playoff like that.
For sure. Last one here, Maryland, 8-4 overall. Matt Green, 8-5, excuse me, 4-5 in the conference, 299 points for 366, excuse me, as a whole for. And then 301 against. They were really, really just a 500 type team for the Terps all year long. But I mean, I feel like 8-4 is like, if you get 8-4 most years with Mike Locksley, I feel like that's pretty awesome. But I don't think you should expect that kind of result year over year. I actually think it should be like 7-5, 6-6. So I think fans should not look at this past year as what should be the norm. What do you think?
Yeah, this honestly feels like kind of best case scenario. And it feels like, was it really a breakthrough season, or did they just kind of, just beat the worst teams on their schedule and lose to the better teams? So I don't know. It's definitely a good season, but it felt like Michigan State was bad this year. And if Michigan State isn't bad, then they're probably ahead of Maryland in the standings.
For sure. Most underrated player in the Big Ten East last year was who, Matt Green?
Oh, my God. I just realized my guy was in the West that I chose. So it's a real fumble. So let me go to you. Let me go to you first. You go underrated here.
Wow. Matt Green.
I have a backup. I can go. I got a backup. Backup is Emeka Egbuka. Because all of the talk is about Marvin Harrison Jr. being, I think...